Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
Taurasi played so poorly in the Olympics and forced her way onto the team, Rob, that she ruined her legacy. And we're going to talk about whether or not Caitlin Clark is going to ruin her legacy even more in the future. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit the notification bell when you do. So I want to give this quote a regular subscriber of ours who makes a lot of comments named Bobby U806. And he said, the havoc that Caitlin Clark is wreaking on Diana Taurasi's legacy has only just begun.
It's true.
Because it's true. This was not a comment about the video that we did where we said that Diana Taurasi had ruined her legacy by basically keeping herself on the team and not letting Caitlin Clark on, which I'm sure she had an influence on. So just as you probably know, some people think she's the greatest player of all time in the WNBA. I do not agree. I think she's clearly a top 5, maybe top 10 for sure in the WNBA. Fans voted her number 1, but there's a lot of UConn fans, so that's
of course
favoritism towards UConn. She has a 20-year career. In college, she's probably one of the top 10 players of all time. She's clearly not one of the top 5.
Right.
In the NBA, you would rank her higher because of the length of her career. But she is considered the best guard of all time. And if you look at all the best players, there seems to be no question about that. All the best players aren't guards except for her and Sue Bird.
Right.
So everybody else in the top 20 is basically forwards and centers. So she is the best guard of all time. And let me think, is there a player now, maybe a rookie, who could become the best guard of all time, if not the best player of all time?
I think so.
I think so too, Rob. And I'm going to tell you the difference between the two of them, Rob. She is 10 times the passer that Diana Taurasi is. So, and people say, well, Diana Taurasi is a great competitor. Well, so is Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And I would say even more so. So right now, Diana Taurasi is considered one of the top 5 players of all time and in the WNBA, and also considered the best guard of all time. So if Caitlin Clark becomes the best guard or the best player, both, that would ruin Diana Taurasi's legacy in 2 different ways. It would take 2 titles away from her. And basically, I don't think she has to do that much out of the ordinary because Diana Taurasi has 1 MVP, 3 championships, and 2 finals MVPs. That's it.
Okay.
So, and there's a bunch of all-stars and all-pros and all like a million of those.
Right.
But she doesn't have to have a 20-year career to top her. Michael Jordan didn't have a 20-year career, and he's considered the best basketball player of all time in the NBA. But, who knows what's going to happen with injuries. She decides to have a kid. They'll have to trade her if they do. Apparently, that's what they do in the WNBA.
That's what they do.
At least if you play for the Las Vegas Aces, apparently that's what you do. I'm going to go on record as saying that I am confident she ends up being a better player than Diana Taurasi in the WNBA. And I think she has a real shot at being the best player of all time, even though the league favors forwards and centers.
Well, I think that the changes are coming, and you can see it. And even though Taurasi tried to, with her, going for that 6th gold medal when she could have just said, "Hey, I stepped down," she did that out of fear because she knew there was this up and coming phenomenon known as Caitlin Clark coming after her. So she says, "Well, if I get this, then she won't be able to catch me."
Right. Simple math tells you that Caitlin Clark won't be able to get 6 gold medals. But if she had played in this one, she could have. Right. And it would have been Diana Taurasi without the, only 5 gold medals. So she wanted to make sure that she couldn't get 6 gold medals and that she could. So she kept her off the team. And I'm sure she was thinking of her legacy when she thought of that. Now, let me go back to college. Like Diana Taurasi did win along with her team, even though she thought she won it by herself, because she said in an interview, when I won 3 championships, which was silly because Sue Bird was player of the year, the first championship she won. So she didn't win it. You can say Sue Bird did. And the next 2 years, she had a lot of talented players who were 5-star recruits, and she played with 10 players who made the WNBA. Caitlin Clark played with 1 and had, I think, no 5-star recruits. And I think I did a whole video on this, and I'm going to tell you that, in my opinion, Caitlin Clark was a better college player than Diana Taurasi. So in that essence, she's already destroyed her legacy in some ways, or at least wreaked havoc on it. Now let's see what happens in the WNBA. And my feeling is, if you just see how much Caitlin Clark's passing improved since she was a freshman, and then since she entered the WNBA, she is now the best passer in the history of the WNBA, and is going to be the best point guard in the history of the WNBA. And point guards have the added advantage of making their teammates better.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So I think she has the potential to be the greatest player of all time if she continues on that route and she gets her three-point shooting back. What do you think, Rob?
Oh yeah, you're spot on, Mark. With that. I totally see that, and you could see Taurasi's digression when she didn't get that much play, even though she started for some strange reason. She started like 3 games in the Olympics, which was a joke to even think about her doing that. And if Caitlin Clark was on the team, she would have definitely topped that easily. But I mean, that just goes into destroying her legacy. Sometimes people just play, like someone pointed out. Sometimes players just play a little too long, and it seems like that's what she's doing. Sometimes they don't know when to get out, and I think she should consider that. She probably is.
I mean, in the Olympics, she looked like a washed-up boxer, Rob.
Right.
I mean, she shot 16% and then 11% from threes. She was 1 for 9. And so it was bad. And she was a liability on defense because she's too slow and old. So her legacy was tarnished because of her staying on the Olympic team and then playing poorly. She hasn't played that poorly during the year so far in the WNBA, but she was playing, pretty well. But she's still a liability on defense in the WNBA.
Right.
So I have a feeling this is her last year. She got her Olympics. She doesn't really have anything to prove. And we'll see what happens, how many years Caitlin Clark plays. Now, Caitlin Clark, in order to wreak havoc on Diana Taurasi's legacy, she needs to win multiple championships and MVPs. Like I said, Diana Taurasi only has 1. That's why I maintain she's not the GOAT. She's never made an all-defensive team or an all-conference team in college. So she's never made any defensive teams. Caitlin Clark is not a good on-ball defender, but a very good off-ball defender and a very good defensive rebounder. If she improves her on-ball defense, that'll go a long way to establishing herself as the GOAT in the WNBA.
Right.
So, and I think she's working on that. So I think it's important that she does. And she doesn't have to go far to top Diana Taurasi's defense because it's rather mediocre.
Right.
She's physical, but she hasn't shown she's a great defender. She would have been voted to an all-defensive team at least once.
Right. So the only thing for Clark is to move up. I mean, improve on defense. If she gets a 3-point shooting down, and of course the turnovers, Mark. What about the turnovers?
She needs to lower them. But
yeah,
it'd be nice if the scorekeepers scored him properly and didn't give her a turnover for a drop pass by her teammates, which you're supposed to do, but they don't. But I think that Caitlin Clark is going to be the greatest player of all time. And if not, at least the greatest. She's going to make it very clear that she's the greatest guard of all time.
Right.
I can't prove it, but I think when she starts piling up MVPs and championships, I think people are going to come around and say, okay, she's not this great white hype. She's not overrated. She's the real deal, and she's the best guard of all time. And she has the advantage over Diana Taurasi of being a point guard. I think the point guard, you don't have to be a point guard to be the best guard of all time. But if you're also a good scorer and you got this passing going on that's out of this world, it's going to really make you very valuable, which is people are going to see that as a player. And they're going to realize she's the best. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think she's going to wreak havoc on Diana Taurasi's legacy. And I think Diana Taurasi saw that, which is why she kept her off the Olympic team in the first place.
Yeah, that's what started.
It's not going to work because Caitlin Clark's going to get more than 1 MVP. And championships are part luck, because that's what your team is. But if she has a long enough career, I think she's going to get more than at least 3 championships and more than 2 finals MVPs.
Well, it doesn't have to be necessarily with the Fever either.
No, she could change teams. In fact, if Coach Side stays there, I would change teams in a heartbeat.
She was in
I'm
New
sorry.
York.
I'm sorry. It's Christy Sides, not Coach
Yes.
Side. Well, that's what's
She
going
was in New York over the break. Throwing out the first ball for the Yankees. She was in New York.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, you want to play for the New York Liberty? All right.
Hmm.
All right, Rob. Well, I don't mind that because there's not a team in Philadelphia right now, so I have to go to New York to watch her play live, which is I did. I went to the first New York Liberty game. So hopefully Philadelphia will get a franchise and I can watch her in Philadelphia and see her establish herself as a GOAT. All right, let us know what you think. I know she hasn't proven anything yet, other than the fact that she's a great rookie. But I think, I don't know, it seems pretty clear to me what's going to happen. So I could be wrong.
Her season starts Friday, so we'll see.
Yep. We have to see how she finishes out the season. Rob and I will be there live tomorrow night, which is August 16th against the Phoenix Mercury. It's at 7:30 on Ion, so please join us for that. Should be a great game. Our normal live show is Mondays, 6 to 8 Eastern time, and you can call in for that show if you'd like. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for? Please do so. We're going for 4,000. We're going for 4,000. We need your help.
Yes.
Hit that notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next videos. If you like this video, hit the like button. And I suspect anyone that likes Caitlin Clark will like it, but the haters will hate it because they'll think we're going to overrate her. But 10 years from now, we'll know who has the correct answer. It's a long time to wait. I think you should establish yourself as a GOAT until you play at least 10 years in the league. So we'll see what happens. If you want to donate to this channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below. And there's also a link to PayPal. We'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.